In a world where everything is frozen, people live on a huge train called Snowpiercer. The train was made by a rich guy named Wilford, who wanted to save humanity from the freezing outside. The train keeps going around the world all the time, so people can survive, but inside the train, things aren't fair. The rich people live in fancy places at the front, while the poor people are stuck in the back in bad conditions. It's like the rich get everything and the poor have nothing. The people in the back are treated really badly, and they're not happy about it. Curtis is a young man who lives in the tail section of the train, where conditions are tough. He has a mentor named Gilliam who guides him and helps him navigate the challenges of their compartment. Curtis is not alone in his struggle, as he shares his journey with fellow passengers Edgar, Tanya, and Namgoon. Together, they endure the harsh conditions of their living space, coping with limited food supplies and facing the brutal enforcement of order by the armed guards who maintain control on the train. Despite the difficulties, Curtis and his friends strive to survive and support one another in their shared hardship. Curtis and his friends feel more and more unhappy with their situation and really want to be free. So, they come up with a plan. They want to rebel against the unfairness and make their way to the front of the train. Their goal is to confront Wilford, the person who's in charge. Luckily, they find help from a guy named Namgoon. He knows a lot about the train's complicated systems, so he can assist them. Namgoon also agrees to help them open the doors to each compartment. He has this special drug called Chronol, which is really addictive. He's been working on it and trading it with others. They decide to use Chronol to their advantage in their rebellion. As the revolt starts, the people from the tail section grab simple weapons and begin moving towards the front. They fight against the guards and face challenges in every part of the train they pass through. Each compartment they enter is different, showing the various classes on the train. They come across a place that looks like a fancy nightclub where the rich folks enjoy all kinds of indulgent pleasures. Then they stumble upon a school-like area where children are being taught to follow the rules of the system. Finally, they reach a section that looks like an aquarium. Here, they find out that the main food they eat, called protein blocks, is produced. It's where the train gets its food supply for all the passengers. As Curtis and his friends go on their journey, they have to deal with a lot of hard things and make tough choices. It's really sad that some of their group members die while fighting against the guards. It shows just how difficult their rebellion is, but Curtis doesn't give up. He keeps pushing forward because he's determined to reach the front of the train. He wants to expose the unfairness and cruelty that the rich people in charge have been responsible for. Curtis is unstoppable. He won't let anything stand in his way as he fights for what he knows is right. During their journey, Curtis and his friends come across someone named Minister Mason, who is really memorable. Minister Mason is a strange and weird representative of the rich ruling class. She gives a speech that's full of lies and tricks, trying to make everyone believe in things that aren't true. The speech shows just how silly and hypocritical the whole system is. It's like a big joke. Minister Mason's words highlight the unfairness and dishonesty of the people in charge. As Curtis and his friends keep going on their tough journey, they discover some really surprising secrets about how the train is run. They find out that the engine, called the Eternal Engine, creates non-stop movement, which gives power to the whole train and keeps everyone alive. But along with that, they learn something disturbing. The people in the back of the train, the ones from the tail section, have a crucial role to play. They're used as a source of food for the people at the front of the train. It's like they're treated as food providers to keep the rich folks fed. It's a shocking and unfair revelation that makes them realize the terrible truth about the train's power structure. When Curtis learns about this, it really messes with his thinking. He starts to question what their rebellion is really about. It seems like everything is already planned out by Wilford, the person in charge. The whole cycle of rebellion and control is orchestrated by him. This revelation makes Curtis wonder what their uprising is truly for. He begins to think about the possible outcomes of their actions and how they might affect the balance of the train. It's a lot for him to take in and makes him really think about the purpose and consequences of their revolt. When Curtis and his friends reach the engine room, something important happens. Curtis finally comes face to face with Wilford, the person who created this messed up society they're living in. Wilford is a mysterious figure, and he starts to explain how the whole system works. He tells Curtis that the way things are set up depends on keeping the people from the tail section oppressed. Their sacrifices and suffering actually help the rich and powerful folks stay alive. Wilford argues that if they try to change things or disrupt the order, it will cause the entire train to fall apart. He says that if that happens, everyone on board will die. It's a really serious situation, and Curtis has to think carefully about what to do with this information. In a big surprise, Curtis is given a tough decision: either become the new leader of the train and keep treating people unfairly, or break the engine and put everything at risk. To help him choose, Curtis looks back on the awful things he went through, like when people had to eat each other just to survive. He realizes something really important. He understands that it's wrong for humanity to keep going if it means hurting and using others. With this new understanding, Curtis bravely decides to reject unfairness and take a big risk to challenge the whole system. Curtis is a brave guy who believes in doing what's right. He has to make a really tough choice. He decides to put himself and Namgoong's daughter, Yona, in danger to make his plan work. They use explosives to blow open the side of the train. When that happens, there's a gigantic avalanche of snow that knocks the Snowpiercer right off its tracks. It's total chaos, lots of compartments get destroyed, and Curtis and his friends have to fight the guards. It's a super intense and dangerous situation they find themselves in. They have to be really brave to face all the risks and fight their way through it. When the train goes off the tracks, something truly extraordinary happens. Yona and Timmy, two brave children who manage to survive all the chaos, emerge from the wreckage. They look ahead and their eyes widen with amazement as they spot a majestic polar bear in the distance. It's an incredibly special sight that fills their hearts with a sense of wonder and awe. The sight of this magnificent creature makes them question whether life exists beyond the confines of the train, in the vast and unknown world that lies ahead. This discovery brings a glimmer of hope into their young hearts as they start to believe that there might be more to life than what they have experienced on the train. It sparks their imagination and fuels their curiosity about what lies beyond the boundaries they have known. That's the end of the story. If you like this video, please subscribe in order to receive notifications for our future uploads.